Hey guys, how's it going? This is going to be a bonus video for the week. Normal vlog is coming out on Friday, but I wanted to do another video about celiac disease. I did a video back in May on my story, my symptoms, how I got diagnosed, and a lot of people have viewed it. It's like one of my most viewed videos on my YouTube channel, and a lot of people have commented on it and just either having issues with gluten or they know somebody who has issues with gluten. So I wanted to make another video and just talk about how I personally manage my celiac disease and my digestive health, because I talked about in that video how absolutely pivotal figuring out that I had celiac disease was, because I had really bad brain fog. I didn't think I was a good student because I couldn't focus. I had a really hard time going out with friends because I just never knew when I was going to have issues. And so for me, figuring out my digestive health was extremely pivotal to just like my life, including my social life, my education, my job, really just everything. Because, then when you're dealing with all these other issues, then you start getting emotional about it, right? You're angry at yourself. You start thinking badly about yourself. I mean, truly, my issues with my digestive health really seeped into every part of my life. It was not something that only affected my physical health, even though it did affect my physical health a lot. So that's why I'm pretty passionate about talking about digestive health and finding things that are going to help me that could potentially help others. With that being said, this is not medical advice. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just somebody who has been diagnosed with celiac disease for 2 years and has had these issues for about the last 8 years. So my education, if you will, is in my own experience. And if you need a diagnosis, if you have medical questions, go to a medical professional. Please don't ask me, because this is not medical advice. This is just me telling you how I manage my digestive health to continue to be better, heal, and all of that stuff. So I have notes and I've broken this down into basically 3 categories, right? The first category, that's the easiest, is diet. So obviously I don't eat gluten. I eat minimal amounts of dairy. I can usually have a small amount of dairy once per day. So like if that's a small amount of cheese, or I'm making butter chicken for dinner. So the fact that the chicken's marinated in yogurt and there's going to be butter in the recipe, I'm actually swapping out the cream with coconut cream, just to give myself make it a little easier. But if I can have small amounts of dairy every day, but if I eat a pint of ice cream, that's probably not going to go over very well. Or if I eat dairy multiple times a day. So no gluten, no dairy. I try to steer away from raw vegetables. I know our culture is very pervasively like salad or steamed veggies. I kind of think that's garbage, and that's why people don't like to eat vegetables, because they don't cook them very well. Obviously I garden. That's mostly what this channel is about, is my gardening, and all of the stuff I grow is pretty much to cook, whether it's like collard greens, kale. I am going to try some lettuce this year, but really I don't eat that many raw vegetables because they just don't settle very well. The other thing about the diet is I drink way more water than I used to. Water's super important to digestion, and just overall health, but especially your digestion, water is so important. That was one of the biggest things my gastroenterologist told me a couple years ago when I got diagnosed. He told me to drink water, which is somebody who works a corporate job like me. I work a 9 to 5, in addition to gardening and having a YouTube channel and doing all this stuff. I have to force myself to drink water. So in terms of diet, just to review, no gluten, minimal dairy, very minimal raw vegetables. I usually only eat cooked vegetables, and lots of water. Also, I think like digestive health is incredibly holistic, is what I'm finding. It really has to do with the overall piece of the puzzle. So we'll go over supplements next, and then just like general lifestyle stuff. Supplements I've found help a lot. I have celiac disease. It's a disease. It's an autoimmune disease. It's not something that's ever going to go away. It's not something that's ever going to get cured. And my digestive system is not ever going to be normal. So supplements really help with that, and they really help me live my life. I kind of think of it as like the cane that I need to walk sometimes. So a few different supplements. I take prenatal vitamins. And this is not because I'm trying to have babies. This is because prenatal vitamins are really high in folate or folic acid. So prenatal vitamins are high in a lot of stuff, but folic acid is one of them. Now, this was a recommendation from my doctor because my blood panel showed that I'm really low in folic acid, and that's because wheat products are enriched with folic acid. Bread, cereal, pasta, it's all enriched with folic acid. There's some kind of history thing where like there were birth defects at some point in the 1900s, maybe like early 1900s, and it was traced back to the lack of folic acid in women's bodies. And so they started enriching wheat products because everybody ate those. They started enriching flour and breads and cereals and all that stuff with folic acid to help the birth defect percentage. So I take prenatal vitamins for the folic acid, but also it's just a good overall multivitamin. And with celiac disease, because it is a malabsorption issue, it's okay to like give your body more than it really needs. I used to be of the mindset that like, well, if I'm eating right, I'm getting all my vitamins. No, I'm not, because my digestive system does not work the way that everybody else's does. And that goes with any digestive issues you have, whether, you know, whatever malabsorption digestive issues you have. I'm going to tell you right now, chronic diarrhea, you are very likely malnourished. Again, not a medical professional, just have spent a lot of years researching this stuff. So prenatals are the first supplements I take. The rest of these supplements are from a company called Modere. Modere, despite what a lot of people say, is not an MLM. There's no quotas. There is no like sales goals every month. I am a seller of Modere mostly so that I can give people a $10 off coupon if they want to try it. I will leave those details in the description box, but full disclosure, I am a seller of Modere. However, there are only really a few products that I like super duper love, and they all have to do with digestion. So let's talk about those. So the first thing is the tree biotic. So this is a pre, pro, and post biotic. And the reason I like this is because it is milk derived, but you're not eating like a bunch of yogurt that your body has to process. This is literally a powdered, I'm just spilling it. They're like these little granules that you probably can't even see. I really like it. Hasn't been giving me issues. And I just think it's good to give your body more of those good, healthy gut bacterias. So that takes care of a probiotic. It doesn't taste like anything. I sprinkle it on my toast with a little bit of almond butter or jam, and it's just a little bit crunchy, and there you go. So that's a probiotic that I take. A drink that I also mix during the day has Phyto Greens. So these are the Axis Phyto Greens. Ingredients are stuff that you actually know what it is. Spirulina, chlorella, collards, green tea leaf extract, parsley leaf, spinach leaf. You know, I mean, like, there's nothing in this ingredient list that I don't recognize, which is good. So I will mix a scoop of this with some aloe vera juice, and I've actually been using aloe vera juice for years, like probably the last, I would say 6 years. It does have a little bit of a taste, but this is the Modere one that has pear and blueberry. So I mix this with water. I put however much of this I'm supposed to put in, 1 to 2 fluid ounces. And then the other thing I'll mix with all of those is the liquid collagen, the BioCell. Now this is less for digestion and more for joint, muscle, and skin health, in addition to just whatever else collagen helps with. I have noticed my joints feel better, my skin looks great, and, you know, in general, I actually really like this. And the other reason I like the liquid collagen is because I already have issues absorbing things. And liquid collagen absorbs at like a way higher rate than powdered collagen that you then mix with liquid. I think the powdered collagen usually has around a 30% absorption rate, and the liquid collagen has about a 60% absorption rate. So I already have issues absorbing things. If I can use something that has a higher absorption rate by your body, we're there. So that takes care of like some greens, and I like the Phyto Greens because it's just more readily available for my body. Again, going back to that whole thing where I don't eat raw vegetables because it's too hard for my body to process. Same reason I love smoothies. Smoothies, a lot of the work in breaking down that really fibrous stuff is already done for me. So my body just gets the benefit of the nutrients. To me, this is the same concept. So there's that. And then the last thing are the Phyto Golds. So the Phyto Golds is basically a like turmeric latte powder mix. It's got fermented turmeric root, mango fruit, coconut water extract, ginger root, cardamom seed, vanilla bean, black pepper fruit, vanilla bean extract. I don't even think this has sugar in it. Nope, does not. So it's not super sweet, but it's not savory either. And I have been drinking this in the afternoon. This is for anti-inflammation. So if you do have digestive inflammation or intestinal inflammation, a lot of these, you know, turmeric, ginger, all these like spices and roots, they're all known to be anti-inflammatory. So that's why I use this, but I will usually heat up about like a cup of almond milk, froth it up and mix this in there for almost like a little afternoon like turmeric latte. And yeah, like I said, I've noticed a pretty good result from that. I do feel less urgency when I have to use the bathroom, which tells me that my insides aren't like screaming at me. So those are all the supplements that I use on the daily. Again, I am a seller of Modere. If you want to try it out, please follow the link in the description box. And if you don't, that's cool too. Do I think supplements are fully necessary to have a healthy digestive system? No, not for a normal person. I think it can be controlled with diet and lifestyle. However, again, I will state, these things help me live a better life because I can feel better. So I'm at the age now where I'm like stopping being stubborn with all this stuff, and I will do whatever. I will take almost anything to live my best life and feel better. So that takes care of supplements. So let's talk about lifestyle. And I think this is the one that's easy for some people, but it's been hard for somebody like me. Stress reduction. That's a big one. Right? Like, it's easy for everyone to say, reduce your stress. I feel like every time a doctor has told me this, I've just wanted to actually punch them in the face. Because, like, they don't know, you know? So, stress reduction, I think, has it can look a few different ways. Whether that's for you, that's exercise. For me, it's hobbies, getting out in the garden. I like to just paint and draw sometimes. I really enjoyed painting my kitchen. I really enjoy just like having projects. I love to read novels. So stress reduction is huge for your digestion. Your brain and your digestion are directly connected, whether, you know, for good or for bad. They talk to each other frequently, because your digestion is what's responsible for giving your brain the fuel to function. So stress is a big one. Sleep. This is one I've really kind of sunk my teeth into over the last couple of years. Sleep is, y'all, do not underestimate the power of sleep. And I know we are all stressed. It's hard to sleep. I've just recently in the last 3 weeks had a big problem sleeping, whereas I haven't had issues sleeping for a while. And I was basically at the point where I either had to start taking prescription sleeping pills or use something more holistic. At first I started using CBD, and then that progressed. And I use plant derivatives to sleep. And I have no issues with it. I sleep great every night, except for the last couple weeks. I've had a lot of personal life stress over the last couple weeks. But other than that, I've been sleeping, honestly, really fantastic. So sleep is huge, whatever you got to do to get a good night's sleep, whether that's turn off your phone, take some CBD, take some Delta 8 CBD, which is basically almost THC. You know, whether that's cutting out caffeine, whether that's cutting out alcohol, which we'll talk about that in a second. Whatever you have to do to protect your sleep, I think we should more viciously protect our sleep. So let's talk about managing alcohol intake. I think it's really easy to wind down after a hard day with a glass. For me, it's a glass of wine. Alcohol is a dehydrating intoxicator, whatever. But really my biggest issue is it gives me a sugar rush at the end of the day, which inhibits my sleep. But then it's also a depressant. So if I'm already stressed and I'm drinking alcohol, I might feel relaxed and good, you know, in the moment. But I wake up, if I've been consistently consuming alcohol every single night, not like binge drinking, but just 1 or 2 glasses of wine, if I've been doing that for weeks on end, I wake up one day with like an existential dread. Like nothing's ever gonna be okay ever again. I just know that that's what happens to me, so I try and manage my alcohol intake. I only drink on like Friday and Saturday night, or if it's like a special occasion, like my anniversary's coming up, then I'll have a glass or 2 of wine. But really, I very heavily monitor my alcohol intake because I know it directly affects my digestion. And that's not fun. So there's that. And then the final thing is exercise. However, I want to caveat that with, I think in today's society, when we hear somebody say work out or exercise, you imagine like what my boyfriend does, which is like CrossFit. It's something like intense and high energy, and for some people that's great. If that's your journey, go for it. It's a great journey to be on, truthfully, and I mean that. For some people it's great. For others like me, it stresses me out. It puts my body at like this heightened state of like, oh my God, somebody's yelling at me and I'm pushing my body to the limit and I hate this and this is terrible and nothing's ever going to be okay ever again. Like literally. And I'm also just sick of fighting my body. I have had obviously a very long history with my digestive system and with my body, and my body does not respond well to that high pressure, high energy, high intensity type of exercise. So when I say exercise and work out, I walk my dogs like 30, 35, 40 minutes a day. I think it's around 2,500 steps. Like if you need a metric, hey buddy. But that's my exercise. It's low intensity. It's very calm. You know, does that mean that I can't do more than that in a day? Absolutely not. I get out in the garden, I lift mulch bags. I am starting to incorporate some like light weightlifting or even just body weight exercises, and like I think my dad calls them calisthenics, which like sounds very 70s. But it's important. Exercise is really important. It helps stimulate your digestive system. It helps stimulate your muscles. It helps kind of get everything moving in your body. And it helps reduce stress. Even on mornings where I'm like, the last thing I want to do is leave the house and walk these dogs. Even on days where I don't want to show up, I still take them on something and I always feel better afterwards. And then there are some days where I'm really just like, no, not today. Not today, Satan. Thank you. So, you know, in terms of lifestyle, I take my daily walks and I also just lead a very active lifestyle. I'm always doing something. I'm constantly standing in the kitchen cooking, or I'm outside gardening. But that level of activity and exercise is pretty important for your digestion, to just kind of get everything moving, stimulate your body, get some endorphins going. So you know, I really try not to fall into people's bullshit trap of what they think exercise should mean. So let's do a brief recap, because that was a lot. Diet. Tons of water. Like, don't drown yourself, but like a lot of water. No gluten, minimal dairy, and minimal raw vegetables, mostly cooked vegetables. Supplements. Prenatals for the folic acid. I do a combo of aloe, Phyto Greens, and liquid collagen. Phyto Golds for inflammation. Tree biotic supplement for digestive health and gut bacteria to help your digestive system get through all this stuff. And then lifestyle, stress management, hobbies, books, all of the things. Sleep, very important. CBD or Delta 8 if that's legal in your state, or if there's other things legal in your state, go for that. Manage your alcohol intake. That's what I do. That's important for me personally and what I've noticed. And some kind of exercise, whether that's low intensity, high intensity. Don't let anybody put boundaries around what that exercise should look like. So that was a lot of information. Thanks so much for joining me today. Like I said, if you want to purchase the Modere products, please visit the link in my bio. There will be a code for you to get $10 off of your first order for whatever you want to try. If you have questions about whether any of the supplements, lifestyle, diet, please leave them below. Just please keep in mind, I'm not a medical professional and I can't give medical advice. So, thanks so much for watching. I hope you got something good out of this video. And I appreciate your guys' interest in my health journey just as much as my garden journey. So stick around for the vlog later this week, and we'll catch up on all the gardening stuff. Have a good one, y'all. Thanks for watching.